All right, music is down. You can't see me yet. There we go. Hello, world. Let's see. Get this going real quick here. We are live. It is Thursday night, as always. Welcome back to the show. Nothing ever goes without a hitch. Bam, there we are. All right. My name is Andrew Krug. You are watching Behind the Scanner live on Google Hangout on Air. Today is June 12th. It is Thursday. It is 9 p.m. Eastern Central Time. Just a reminder, or it is showing something on the screen. I'm not sure what that was. Just a reminder that you can watch the whole show live tomorrow, unedited, on our YouTube channel. That is youtube.com/behindthescanner. We've also enabled questions and answers for this Hangout like we do every week. So if you have a specific question for a guest, make sure that you tag the person with the @ symbol and their name. And our producer, Daphne, will be checking that throughout the night, and we will hopefully bring those up. And don't forget, we also have a panel discussion later in the evening. Hold on, somebody's saying my phone is not muted. Let me take care of that. Nope, that's not me. If you have a phone, Daphne, somebody? Mute it. Anyway, all right. We also have a Google form that you can submit for guest recommendations. If you have somebody you want to see on BTS, let us know. That link is bit.ly/BTS_guest. Again, that is bit.ly, bit.ly/BTS for Behind the Scanner _guest. So with that, let's get started. All right, you know my two co-hosts, they've been with me just about every single week. My first one, despite having better hair than me, he just got a haircut, in fact. I let him come back on the show. His name is Jorge Pedreo. He is also known as Triskel in the game. Jorge, welcome.
Hello, Andrew. Hello, everyone. Daphne. Well, I'm so glad to be here in our 8th episode, and I'm more glad because for the first time in the show, we are more resistance guy in this show. So
Yes.
now I feel so comfortable, and well, I have to take advantage of that because next week I'm gonna be in disadvantage. So thank you, everyone.
You're definitely going to be the minority next week, so yes, live it up.
Yeah.
Daphne and I will try to keep our composure. All right. So my second one, obviously, my second guest, she's the social butterfly of the Ingress world. If she hasn't come to your city yet, it means that she will probably be there soon. So everybody, please welcome Daphne, aka Miss Parker.
Hi everyone, good evening, and yes, it is 3 Smurfs. No, hi boys. Yes, and actually hi boys. So yes, 3 Smurfs. But luckily, you know, I think between me and Andrew, we can take this on.
I think my beard counts.
Anyway, welcome everybody.
All right, Daphne, you want to introduce our first guest?
Yes, I will be happy to. Our first guest is no stranger to many of you. He's been called Resistance Royalty and simply the man. And so please welcome all the way from Israel, Tzafrir Rehan. And I'm sorry if I butchered your name.
You actually got it quite right. Thank you for having me here and giving me the chance to embarrass myself in front of the world. And thank you for adding me into
we do it every week.
A Smurfy flavored show.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. What time is it there? 4 a.m.?
It's just after 4 a.m., right?
Yeah.
I'm no stranger to these hours, luckily.
Well, so speaking of that, you know, you're probably no stranger because you're a software developer. I know a lot of software devs. We like to stay up late. We like to drink balls. We like to drink coffee, all that sort of stuff. Caffeine just sort of ingested, mainlined into our arms. But I think calling you a software developer is a little bit of an insult because your skills go way, way beyond that. And I personally want to thank you for creating the Do Share extension. I had no idea that was you until the other day. Jorge was like, yeah, we're going to have this guy on. And I thought, wait a minute, the name sounds familiar. Where do I know this from? And then I went to schedule one of our behind the scanner posts, which I use all the time. Do share to do that. Like right at the bottom, there it is, Tzafrir Rehan. Wow. So thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad to hear that you use it and that it still works.
It does.
I use the term software engineer more than a software developer. I've been trained at the Technion here in Haifa, where I live, not far from here. And I work as a software engineer at a software startup called thepulse.com. And yeah, I like to hack, I like to create stuff.
That's great. Well, in addition to, it sounds like almost a legendary career, you seem to be really into photography. And if you're not into it, or professionally or semi-professionally, you're really good at it, and maybe you might want to consider that as another career.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, and are you attracted to photography? And do you have a certain system for finding and taking photos?
Well, I've never been a professional photographer. It's more like a hobby. It runs in the family. My father likes to take photographs a lot. Ever since I was little, I used to like taking photographs. I never had any professional equipment. I don't have a DSLR. And I used to really like just going around, reaching places, taking photographs. When I took trips like abroad, that's what I would do. I would open Google Maps or Google Earth, find cool places to go, and went and took photographs of them. I didn't know at the time that it was because of DXM, but for a while I couldn't take photographs because I never had a camera on me. And when smartphone cameras started become, they produce good quality photographs. That's when I really started taking photos of stuff. When I just see something and see that it makes a good photo, I'll just stop and grab it and process it later. I really like the processing part to make the things that I saw shine out of the picture. And Google Plus is a great place to post it. I just put it publicly and get good feedback on it. And that's maybe why you got that impression that I'm a photographer.
Your most recent ones are really good, I have to say.
Thank you very much. I should make an album of my portal submissions. I like to put some time into those.
I definitely recommend that. I mean, I've started one, although I haven't been able to really focus on it. But like Portals of Ingress is one of my albums, and some from some of my travels. So yeah, I would love to see that. So please put those together.
Okay, well.
Well, Zafria, you seem like you're a big fan from Team Fortress 2. What was your favorite mod, and
Wow.
you're against low gravity servers?
Team Fortress goes way back. It's not just Team Fortress 2. I played Team Fortress Classic when I was 15 years old. That was my first multiplayer experience. And so I'll use that. Like, I'll say that my favorite map is Hunted from Team Fortress Classic.
Ooh,
and for those of you, like 99% of the world who have no idea what that is, it's like a VIP map where you're this poor little guy that has no health and only an umbrella to save his soul against a team of snipers. So that map really taught me how to just get people to see that you know what you're doing and get them to get you to where you need to be, work as a team. Because you have nothing. All you can do is tell your team, help me get here, let's go here. And that I actually had a chance in Team Fortress 2 to one time play in a server with the developers, with the Valve team that makes Team Fortress. And Robin Walker was there, one of the original guys from Team Fortress Quake days. And I told him this story, and he really got what I'm talking about. Like someone else in that voice chat was laughing at me like, you learned leadership at the Team Fortress map, and the developers knew exactly what I was talking about.
That's pretty cool. Actually, the Hunted is one of my favorite ones. I was always that guy that was back in the hangar on top of the vehicle trying to snipe you.
You were a sniper, right?
I try, I never played with good people who could protect me as the little president guy.
That's because the snipers were green, you know.
Yeah, that's a classic game. I'm glad you answered. What about low gravity though? I gotta ask. Low gravity is one of my
No. I don't do low gravity. No.
You want to send people off into space? No. Okay.
No, I don't do low gravity. You will play the game as it was made.
So, changing gears a little bit, as we sometimes do, to a topic that's a little bit more serious. Like our friend Solomon Abdallah that we had on a few weeks ago, though, he lives in Egypt, a little bit of a tumultuous place, kind of dangerous. Israel can also be a dangerous place. You've got suicide bombers, terrorist attacks, random rockets being fired from over the borders. I don't think most Americans can relate to that. So, what do you do to stay safe when you're out playing Ingress all hours of the day and the night?
Well,
a lighter topic.
Yeah.
Very light. Well, I'd have to say we don't always stay as safe as our mothers would like us to. Some portals are at roads that you stand on the side of the road, farm keys, and the army comes and looks like they're not even stopping. They look like, who is this crazy guy? We're not stopping here. On the topic of safety, like, the army keeps us safe most of the time. It has several sides to it because there are places we just can't go to. And if you look at the map, you see, like, Israel, we can't, not all players from both sides can get to both sides equally. And that creates some interesting issues, especially regarding blocking links. And like one time during the Tel Aviv anomaly, like 3 days before, there were rockets coming out of Gaza into Israel. And just at the area where we have our most famous corner portal, the Steel Division Monument, if you look at the map, it's just west of Gaza. So we just wouldn't go there. I couldn't ask any of our guys to go there at that time. So we had a whole plan of going to get all the links coming out of it instead of going to clear them at that one place. It's that kind of situations that you just have to deal with reality to get your Ingress mission going.
Interesting. Wow. It does put things in perspective, I've got to say. But okay, to really keep things a little bit lighter, although if you can explain to someone who's not very techy maybe, but can you explain a little bit about DoShare? Why'd you create it? What is it?
DoShare is a cool little tool that I created back at the time that I was very invested in Google+. I was on Google+ before Ingress. Like, I know that for many Ingress agents, Google+ is their Ingress network. They just make a public post that, oh, I leveled up, and everyone, all their followers just know what they're talking about. I can't do that because I have, like, my family and friends are actually following me and actively on Google+. I was very active on Google+, just from the very first days, and got in the community aspect of it. And when I had some time off between jobs, I decided to make an opportunity for myself just by making some tools. And DoShare is a tool that it lets you write posts, save them, and post them on a schedule. And that way you can manage your whole Google+ posting activity in one place. I did it as a very big bet that Google+ will become the successful social network of the world. That did not happen. So I ended up getting a day job, and I don't actively maintain it. I'm surprised it still works. Surprised slash delighted, because I'm not sure I have the resources right now to fix it if it breaks.
There was
Well, it sounds
actually
like
there was one small bug I noticed today when I went to post something. I tried to actually. I know, and here I am calling you out from the entire world. So when we get together, you can punch me. I was trying to post a picture as a page, and for whatever reason, it couldn't happen.
You cannot.
So,
Just Google Plus doesn't have an API for that. Google Plus doesn't have an API for any of that. But through, you can call DoShare the IITC of Google Plus.
yeah.
It just gets things done. Don't ask questions.
Yep. Gotcha.
But
No,
it can't do that for a page. Sorry.
that's okay. I use it for everything else. I absolutely love it. It's if you don't know what it is, go to the extensions. If you've got Google Chrome, the browser, go to extensions, do a search for DoShare, and you can find it there. It lets you schedule posts, and it's awesome. So if you manage a community, if you're doing anything, you should use it.
Thank you very much.
okay. Yeah. Well, no, it shows. It shows that you set a pretty good foundation for this. So, congrats. So we do have some viewer questions, and there's one here submitted by Robert Berton. I think specifically about Bucharest, but I know that there are towns and there are neighborhoods, and you're a pretty seasoned player. So in the case of where one faction dominates over another, how would you recommend that the other can help rebuild or bring it back alive?
How do I recommend that the losing faction makes their ground?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a discussion that we have a lot in Israel, because you can say that we're in a one-sided situation here, especially after the Tel Aviv anomaly, when our team, the Resistance, won by a landslide, and it really hurt the other team here. And what I recommended them to do was just not to lose hope and to rebuild themselves and to recruit more and to work as a team, to just get whatever they can get done, to retain their players, to maintain their equipment levels, just not to fall. Like, in many situations, such a losing team loses hope, makes an air of we can't do this and hopelessness, and that hurts their chances of coming back. What I just recommended them is to not lose hope and to work hard to get to where they want to be. And I wish they would have taken my advice.
Okay.
Good advice.
Yeah. All right. So some really vibrant questions, I gotta say. One that seems to be pretty popular, though, is, again, being a seasoned player. What do you think would be an effective way to help struggling players stick with the game? Like encouraging team players to reach out, encouraging. What are some ideas you have? And that was submitted by Joe Thoreau.
How to? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. To not quit the game.
Oh.
It's more of how
to
do
help
you
encourage players.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question? Just shortly.
Oh, sure. How do you encourage players to stick with the game?
Just find what they're good at and let them get there. Like, I noticed a lot of players, they like leveling, they like farming, but if you don't get them involved in ops and get them to really work as a team, they lose interest. You can only go flip portals between colors that many times before you lose interest. I like to make sure that there are chances to make operations, to have things to do that help the team, things that we can be proud about and share publicly as an achievement. Even small ops that don't amount to a big MU that changes the whole history of the cell. Even something small in covering your neighborhood, even that can spark something in a player that wouldn't be interested otherwise.
can sometimes be tough to find that, but yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Well, getting back to the game, rumors has said that you slept on your car in the middle of the night in the desert for artifacts. What
That I
was
did
like
what?
that experience?
That I did what?
That you slept in your car in the middle of the
No,
night?
I don't
No.
sleep.
Oh, you didn't sleep. Okay.
Categorically false. There was zero sleeping that night, especially.
Nice.
That was a historic moment, I think. I think it was a big moment for all of Ingress when Team 9 from Moscow came to Israel. And just, we had two shards in the Jarvis Shards days. We had two of them in Israel, and Moscow just put people on a plane and came here to take them. That was a crushing experience to go under that in the middle of a workday, just finding people to fight them, and we did give them a strong fight. But I don't have time right now to tell the whole story of their time here in Israel. But the result was that they stole one shard and couldn't get the other. But they did leave keys to the local Enlightened and asked them to send that shard away to Baku in Azerbaijan. And the shard was just laying there in the desert for a day after Team 9 left back to Russia. And I just asked a friend to join me, let's put it back in a safe place. And by the time we got to the shard, a local team sent it further east. And then we just look at the Intel map and we see that at the destination there are already 12 different Enlightened agents. And Google Maps tell me that I'm 1 hour, 2 minutes away.
What? Yeah.
And the road there is horrible. It was at the Dead Sea, the lowest place on Earth. That was probably, most definitely, the lowest place a shard has been at, globally. So going down there, it completely ruined my car's brakes, but I got there on time, and we started a war, like every hour, flipping the portal on time, fighting it, and it jumped randomly to another place, and by this time my car had no brakes at all. I was driving, and every time a turn came, I wasn't sure I'm going to get out of it. But the adrenaline that night was beyond anything I ever had in any game. It even surpasses many of my experiences in the Israeli army. It was just a huge rush, and being there, 2 agents against 12, trying to, and managing eventually to prevent them from taking that shard out. Eventually, at 5 a.m., they just had to get back to their homes. It was a case of who stays last. And sunrise came. We hacked a couple more portals, and I went to work.
There was also, weren't you involved with helping the Enlightened out from Russia? Didn't they get into a bit of a sticky situation?
What?
What? I thought there was an incident at one point with some Russians in Israel and maybe a police officer, somebody giving him a hard time.
No, I only met those guys for dinner.
Okay.
I think there was something in Egypt with another crew of Team 9.
I think you're right.
Yeah. But I won't embarrass you by going into those details.
Well, okay. So
Yeah.
Okay.
we don't have to embarrass anybody. How about we build your legend up a little bit more? So I'm friends with Ruth Shepard, and we got to talking, and I said, hey, do you have anything good I can ask Zafir when he comes on? And she said that during Unite 8 that you pulled them out of a tight spot, and to ask you about that and have you elaborate on that, you sort of took over and Not sure what she was alluding to, but can you elaborate on that?
Well, Unite was the most stupid, crazy thing we could have thought of doing. A huge organization of global coordination to make all those links and fields and portals at the same time. I don't know how we thought it could be possible. But of course it's possible because we did it. But to get there, it was crazy. I wasn't known or active globally before Unite 8. I was added as a representative for Israel, and then I was asked to help with the larger region of Middle East, West Asia. And as time progressed, let's say it like this, it was very well managed in a management perspective, but that's not what the operation needed. And there was a lot of friction because you can't manage an operation for what it is assumed to be a game like it's a job, like it's your work. You can't tell people, here's your task list, do it and check the check marks and let me know when it's done. So I recognize that it needs a flavor of more like a leadership-like thing. And as the original management quit and just couldn't take it anymore with people not answering on time and all of that, I told them that it's not impossible, that we can get it done. So they said, okay, you're it. Leave Unite 8. And I actually did it. I stayed there and just focused my willpower to make people believe that they can do it. And we got it done. We linked the world.
Awesome. I have to say that was very impressive. From a green to a blue, that was very impressive.
Thank you very much. That's great to hear, and we heard that a lot, even in real time.
Saf, what has been your favorite Ingress experience? I think, well, you have a lot, but maybe there's one that is really sparkling in your mind in this moment?
Well, that night that I told you about, as an agent on the field, I think that was my greatest moment. In a coordination sense, it was Unite 8. I was sitting here in this room, and I was sweating because 20 minutes earlier I was running to a portal to deploy a link camp on it, just so we could get a last-minute link into Malta from my city. That was after like a night with no sleep that I actually took the local team and we built level 8 portals here. I was sitting here in this room, and the time came when we wanted to shoot the links, and we were on Zello and saying, don't link yet, we're not ready. And of course everyone started linking. And then Intel died.
Oh no! Oh my God.
Because the whole world was looking what's going on, and we completely killed the Intel servers. But little screenshots came from people after like 10 minutes of loading time. Here we have all the parts. That was like a moment of release, of like months of not being able to think of anything else. I almost stopped playing here completely locally. And of course, it was all hush-hush. My local guys didn't even know I'm involved in any of it. Like, why isn't he playing? I can't imagine what was going on in their minds. I think those two moments on each end were the greatest.
Wow. Well,
You did a great job. You did a great job.
Part of your legend is apparently breaking Intel too. That's good to know.
yeah, actually, that's true. And yeah, looking at one of the questions of some other legendary stories, we could probably talk all night. But just to kind of stick with our tradition, I mean, yes, have you learned anything about yourself or something about yourself with all the social interactions and projects that Ingress has afforded you?
Well, of course, I learned a lot. I think it really helped me bring out the like leadership ki- kind of thing in me, that I can help people just enjoy themselves and make the best of themselves in this game. Um, it's really great to be able to just hop into a hangout and help people get things done. That's what I like doing the most.
That's great. Good to know. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us tonight or this morning for you and being our first guest. Would you, well, since you don't sleep or anything, I take it won't be a problem for you to stick around for our panel discussion if time allows?
No problem at all.
Fantastic. Great. Look forward to continuing our conversation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zaf. Well, our second guest is the founder of the Ingress Boot Camp, and just landed from a flight a few hours ago. Please welcome Ralph, aka Epidemic.
Hey, welcome.
Hello.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Good
Thank you
evening
for
and
rushing
welcome.
from the airport to come home and join us.
Thank you very much. Well, your G+ page says that says the Netherlands resistance logo is on it, and it heard that you also have ties to Israel, as well as seem to travel a lot. Do you travel a lot for work, for pleasure, or what is your favorite place to escape to?
Yeah, first of all, I travel mostly for work. I'm flying forth and back to Switzerland right now every week. So I travel more for business than for pleasure, unfortunately. But I do have family in Israel, and the Middle East in general is a place that I love, and yeah, I love to escape to, especially the desert. I love the desert, and the Dead Sea desert that Tzafrir talked about is actually one of my favorite places to escape to. It's an amazing place. It's not a desert as you would imagine with sand and nothing but sand. It's actually a crazy amount of animals that live there. There are waterfalls, and it's really an odd place to float around in the Dead Sea itself. But the whole region is amazing. So this is one of my favorite places to escape to.
Wow, I envy that. That's one of my places to go on my bucket list. But since you travel so much, I'm kind of curious, what's your UPV?
My UPV?
Yes. Sorry, I have to ask.
I didn't get that. My UPV?
Yes. Oh, unique portals visited.
Actually, I wouldn't even know, but yeah, I'm just continuing. I guess it must be a bunch, but I know that there's some groups of people here in the Netherlands who are regularly, weekly, trying to expand their unique hacks and unique captures. I'm not doing that. I think I'm pretty much on a good way just by traveling around and seeing what I come across. I mean, scanner is always on, right?
True, true.
For the record,
I'm
though,
very aware of that. But
You
Yes.
probably will have to provide Daphne a number at some point in time, because she's gonna die if you don't tell her.
I'm about to ping you right now, actually. So as I type your name in the comms, how did you get your agent name? I mean, is there a special meaning or anything to it?
It's yeah, I actually it's the name that I used to use when I used to do illegal spray painting, and that was years and years ago, and I didn't use that name for a long time. And a few months before I started to play Ingress, I started visiting a hackerspace in Amsterdam. And I needed a handle there, and I didn't want it to be connected to anything else, so I chose that. And then I got introduced to Ingress at the space, so this is what I chose, and I kind of like it better than my other handles now.
Very interesting. So, bringing back the old school for the new school. I like that.
I love
Yeah.
that you're a graffiti artist. That is fresh.
No, that's more credit than I should get. I just put, you know, tags. My friends were mostly active in it, so I hung around a lot with graffiti artists. But to call myself that is actually, yeah, more credit than I should get for that.
You're Banky, aren't you? That's who you are. You know, I have to admit, actually, you know, talking about hackerspace and not wanting to tie things to who you are, usually I do a pretty good job of G-stalking our guests to get unique questions, but there's not that much public stuff on you. So, have you always enjoyed video games? Is this your first one? What's sort of your background? What is that?
Yeah, I've always been a gamer. I think I started in '86 or '7 or something with a Nintendo NES, and had a lot of consoles. When I was 10, I got my first PC, started gaming there. I got a little bit tired of every time having to upgrade my hardware when new games came out, and slowly I moved more to console gaming. But yeah, I've pretty much always been a gamer, although these days I don't really have a lot of time for games, except for Ingress, of course.
You have time for the game.
Yes. Don't need time for other games when you have Ingress, right?
Never. You can't have it. But what do you do when you are not playing Ingress?
Well, actually, I'm a person that I can get bored with something very quickly, so I can have a different hobby every week and then get bored with it by the end of the week and do something different in the week after. I'm just really curious, and a lot of things, once I've figured them out and I know everything there is to know about it, then it gets boring. And in the meantime, I'm really an information junkie, so I run into a lot of interesting stuff, and I want to know a little bit about everything. So it changes from time to time. I think the things that stuck most are amateur astronomy. It's something I really love. You can learn a lot. You can learn endlessly about so many related topics, from astrophysics to observing techniques, astrophotography, solar astronomy. There's a lot of things that you can just endlessly learn about. So this has so far still kept my interest strong. And besides that, I'm always tinkering with hardware and software. I like to make things talk, interfacing things. I like to play with Arduinos and other microprocessor boards. I never know anything about it when I start with it, but I just dive in, and until I've accomplished what my goal was, I don't stop.
Okay, well, then speaking of which, Sunny Lee asks, how does the Resistance plan to win in Terrorists? And what are your predictions for the Resistance in the future?
Hmm. That's really hard to say.
Please share as
I mean,
far
I
as you
can't
can.
say anything, of course, operational on how we plan to win it, but I think it's been very interesting to see that half a year ago, Enlightened was winning all the anomalies and the bigger events, and now it changed the last months. There's a lot of wins by the Resistance, but I think it will also come a little bit more in balance again. I actually hope that, because it's really not nice if one team is continuously in power. And I mean, the anomalies are really nice, but you have the day-to-day game which is going on, and besides the amazing fun times that we have at anomalies, I think that the continuation is also very important. So I like places where there's a balance, where both factions are doing their best and making it hard for the other team, and that's when the fanatics come out, the freaks, the guys who have a tick and they just can't sleep under a green or blue field. And yeah, I think basically you need to have a little tick to keep going, and like Tzafrir, not to sleep.
Speaking of not sleeping, we have another question from a previous guest, Mr. Soleiman Abdallah, and he'd like to ask, I didn't know you had an ebook, actually, and I just lost the question, but do you plan to, I'm sorry, this thing is fluid, make it into an interactive website?
No. He wants to know if he's going to make the ebook.
If I'm gonna make the ebook or make it into a interactive website.
The question is, do you have plans to turn your ebook into an interactive website? Yes.
Actually, yes. Not the interactive part is not really planned yet. I like that idea though. It's actually a very cool idea, but the book is already in a web-based form by one of the people who does the Chinese translation, and he converted all the content into a web-based version that you can just click through the pages, so you don't have to download the book. You can link directly to a page, things like that. That's going to also be on ingressbootcamp.com. It's not yet, but I like the interactive idea.
Got it. Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's a really good way for people to learn. I think it's a brilliant idea. Of course, now you have to pay royalties to Solomon, who I'm sure, You won't be sorry. Anyone else. Well, let's talk about a little bit about the early days of Ingress for you when you started out playing. What did you think Ingress was going to be like initially, since you come from a gamer background? What were your thoughts?
It was kind of when I started it was already going a few months. I think I started in February of 2013. I remember that my friend who actually arranged for me an invite back then, his name is Peer Snelle, and he's a friend that I had met at the hackerspace in Amsterdam. And I knew he was totally crazy about it. He used to do 150 kilometers on his bicycle every weekend just to keep his area blue. And
wow.
I mean, I knew it was kind of a crazy game, but it was the first time when I actually installed it. I had an invite and everything. It was exciting in a James Bond kind of way when I went to the park, capturing portals, getting attack alerts that somebody is nearby, and the feeling of, what's happening. Should I not show myself? Should I go say hi? Should I, start building? Should I start bombing whatever he builds? And the it was actually funny a few times that this situation happened before I met that same person the first time, and we were both laughing about it. How we had been chasing each other without meeting each other, and slowly this crazy feeling dissolved. But it's still crazy.
Well, Ralph, I'm gonna get back to the ebook, and if you are gonna do the interactive web page and everything, can you explain what is Ingress Boot Camp, and where does people can find information about it?
So, Ingress Boot Camp was an idea that I got after I was playing, I think, for 1 month or 2 months, and there were new people who came in my city, and every time we actually were all explaining the same things over and over, and you realize that a lot of the things that you want people to know, that you're forgetting them, because there are so many aspects to the game mechanics. So there's just some stuff that I thought, this you want people to know this, but you can't explain it over and over and over. So I thought, what, even though I hate documentation as a task, I thought I should do something with this. There should be an easier way to teach people, and this is how the idea was born. It took me a bunch of months to write a manual and to actually get information in there. That the idea was that you especially should have information there that most people will learn on the street, and a lot of people won't. You need to be lucky to run into people that help you and that take the time to explain things to you. So this was the idea behind it, to make that knowledge available to all the new players. So this happened. Took a few months to write. In the meantime, now it's I think around 130 pages long. It became quite extensive. For anybody that wants to take a look, it's a free downloadable PDF at ingressbootcamp.com. And if you feel that you can contribute with translations, then chat me up. There's about 40 people now involved in, I think, 20 or 30 languages. In the meantime, it took me another 2-3 months to convert all the drag and drop content in which way the book was made, to convert that to scripts, so I could just take strings files from other languages. And that's finished now, finally. There's a lot of bug fixing still because it was 10 versions behind. But now it's ready pretty much to to be used in any local language, as long as there's people who took the time to translate it. And it's I think by now it's been downloaded about 35 or 40,000 times.
Wow. Yeah, it's very nicely done.
It's been a crazy ride.
Yeah, I just took a peek at the website. It looks amazing, so I look forward to exploring that a little bit more after this.
Thank you.
But speaking of game mechanics, what would you consider your favorite aspect of Ingress?
This is something I think about a lot, especially when people are asking, what are you doing, or what is this game, how does it work? I think for me there are 3 aspects that I really love and find special about Ingress. First of all, you have the GPS aspect. You need to actually get off the couch, go out, walk. The second one is the social aspect. You meet a lot of people. I think one of the coolest aspects about the game is that you really meet a lot of new people, and a lot of them are like-minded. They're also a little bit crazy like me, so this is really a maybe the best thing about Ingress is the players. And the third aspect that I really enjoy is just to observe all the psychological trends and moments that are happening in Hangouts and communities. And I mean, it seems that there's a different soap every week, and people have something to go nuts over, and sometimes it's local, sometimes it's global, but it's just awesome to see, and also how people respond when you're attacking a farm, their home portal, things like that. How do people respond? So this is fascinating to observe.
I definitely think the social aspect, at least for me, is the reason why I play. So very cool to hear that. Given all of your experiences, though, you've been around the block for a while, what have been some unexpected problems that you've had to overcome while playing Ingress, either by yourself or on a mission?
If I can slightly change that question.
Your show, you go for it.
I think the weirdest thing that happened with us is that we had some people change faction to help the Enlightened become stronger, and not everybody in the resistance was happy about it, and in the end a lot of people stopped, paused. There was no blue, and I mean there wasn't really a lot of green, but the people who switched for valid reasons, in my opinion, intentionally they wanted to do it for a temporary switch to make green stronger, and it became permanent. And this was really a challenge, because with us everybody stopped, and for about 2 months it was the most active person that I used to play with. I was now playing against, and it was just the two of us, and we were going out every night, killing each other's stuff, and I mean the challenge was really to figure out how to motivate the locals and how to build up the resistance again, and this is really, I think, the biggest challenge, and I think a lot of people are facing that challenge, and still there's people who stop eventually, but you also need to get new players, try to recruit, get some fresh blood, keep the older players active by motivating them, by organizing things, and I didn't do all those things by myself. A lot of people have done that, but I think it's really a team effort to motivate each other and to keep each other interested. And I know, for example, that in Switzerland, where I'm playing as well, they have every Friday they have a beer, and they go out and play. And the point is not to play; the point is to have fun, and playing just comes natural. And things like that can really boost the morale and keep people excited. And I think it's good to criticize and praise each other on actions, but always in a constructive manner. You see that everywhere in every aspect of the game, and especially in the game mechanics, you see that by yourself you cannot do so much. They're always stimulating team play.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It can be hard sometimes. You've got to figure out how to stimulate team play.
Yeah, but I think that's also, I mean, it's not, I think that's exactly the point, you can't play this by yourself, so you wanna be strong, you have to work for it, and also there comes a very interesting psychology.
I definitely agree with that. We could probably have a whole conversation, spend hours talking about the psychology of Ingress.
Yeah.
Speaking of sort of psychology and psyching out your opponents, I just want to bring up the fact that for the record, you are not Julian Assange. Is that correct?
That used to be my name, yeah, on Google Plus. It still shows up on some places actually, but the thing was that I had, I think, Epic Epidemic at first, and then Google told me that's not your name, and I changed it about 20 times, and they didn't accept it. And eventually they accepted that I called myself Julian Assange, so that kind of stuck around. Luckily now I got it to my current name, but yeah, that was for a while my name.
And now everybody sees you. Well, again, thank you for coming. Oh, what's up? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say if I can bring Tzafrir to this conversation, because I think he has some cool joke with that thing about Assange.
I told Jorge when we talked that there was one time when Ralph was in Israel and we talked on Google Hangouts, and I was just sending a message to my team, like a screenshot of a hack that, I don't know, I got a very rare heatsink or something like that. And the top line was Julian Assange, 2 new messages. And my team was like, you're talking to what?
Nice. That's actually pretty good. I'm going to have to remember that one.
I've gotten a bunch of related questions like, are there any portals in the embassy and things like that.
That's awesome. Yeah, just for the record, people, you can put whatever name you pretty much want to into your Google Plus profile. So don't always believe. In fact, I'm going to change my name to Sergey Brin tomorrow. So. All right. Ralph, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us tonight. Appreciate it. It's been a blast. We're going to move sort of right into our panel discussion. You're already up. It's like 4 a.m. your time now, because I think you're an hour behind. So you might as well stay up with us. I'm not even going to ask if you can stick around. I'm just going to tell you you're going to stick around. So let's do this. All right. Before we actually get into the panel discussion, though, I've got something not really hot off the presses, but something that was a little bit of a controversy. A couple weeks ago, people were looking for some clarification on it, and I reached out to Niantic to get some clarification on it, and I keep forgetting to bring it up. So a couple weeks ago, there was a bunch of rumors about Wi-Fi redeeming codes, and should you or should you not do it, and how does Niantic view that? So I asked, can you confirm or deny that Wi-Fi parties to multi-redeem codes should not be done going forward? The response I got back was, the team sees multi-redeems as a bug. It will likely be fixed in the future. I think it can be a cool social mini-game when done with items like resonators or heatsink cards. But when agents use it to create multiple very rare link amps, or Adas and Jarvises, essentially very rare items, I'm putting that in there, then it attracts attention because it can disrupt normal gameplay balance. For anomaly medals, I'd much rather prefer we give one passcode to each agent rather than do multi-redeem parties, because agents are getting anomaly medals who did not participate. There are agents who did participate and didn't receive one, so that's not right. So they are going to try to fix the whole medal issue. That's not going to stop people from seeking out and trading them, but that's the word. That's their sort of opinion on it, at least at the time we talked. Things can change, as we know. So I'm just going to put that out there. That's not going to be the panel topic for tonight, because we actually have something a little bit more controversial that we want to bring up. And this was a question by Hernan, and I'm going to butcher your last name. Thank you. Troke. And that is, he wants to know about hunting guardians. What are your opinions about hunting guardians on purpose? So, all right, I love Zafir's reaction to that. So I'm going to start with him first. What are your opinions of purposely hunting guardian portals?
Don't do it. It's bad and you should feel bad.
Yeah.
Hunting the guardian is like, if earlier I said that to promote team play. You should do good things that help your team and you can be proud of, and you can share it publicly with the world. Guardian hunting does not fit into any of those categories. The only thing it achieves is annoying someone else. And some people might even say, oh, but it doesn't let them level up. I say the same thing about denying levels. Like if someone worked hard and got his level, let him have it. I really dislike the effect of it on the game. Here in Israel, it lowered the level of gameplay horribly. And the worst part for me is when someone new comes in and wants to be part of the team, and the old players tell them, okay, here's a mission, take down this player's guardian. Then they get him into that cycle of vengeance, and that player will never have a guardian himself at that point. I just hate everything around it.
Fair enough.
That's my opinion on the matter.
All right. Mr. Epidemic, Ralph, what are your thoughts on it?
I agree with Tzafrir. He made some points that I never considered them like that about the cycle of vengeance. I think it's totally true. Personally, I don't hunt guardians. It doesn't interest me so much. I just care that my neighborhood is not green, and I don't care if there's guardians or not. And I also agree that if somebody works hard for it, then yeah, let him level up or whatever. It doesn't bother me. On the other side, I think that it's a natural part of the game how it works in this way, and guardians are not, giveaways. You have to work for them. So I think it's be an ass in game and be cool in real life to people. You can play hard, but be friendly in real life. And I think there's a lot of hate and vengeance going on with people getting their guardian taken down on 149 days. And in some cases, there's even rewards for that. If you take down an enemy guardian at 149 days, that you get rewarded in some way or another. And I don't like this personally, but I guess each to their own, and I don't judge people who do hunt guardians. I understand the preventing of leveling up, but to me personally, it doesn't weigh so much.
A little bit of a different perspective. I can respect that. Yeah. Daphne, what do you think?
I think it's something that, it's someone's strategy that may be different than others. And I mean, I personally don't go out of the way to hunt for guardians, but I mean, I know that there's some people that when their guardians went down, there was extreme pleasure in hearing about that. And there's also heart sinking when I've heard about others. And so, but that's part of the game mechanics. Unfortunately, the way the game is designed, it's not about cooperation. It is you are either blue or you are green. There's no reward for helping each other except for maybe some field art, but that's not, unfortunately, what this game is really about. And so I do, however, love a couple of things where someone will, I saw a post somewhere of someone found an old guardian of another faction, and they actually put their guardian next to it. Or I've heard of, I've heard, and I actually do know of two people from another city who are cross-faction friends, and they have their guardians next to each other, and they've both actively protected, keeping them up by their teammates, like just to encourage them to keep them up. So, I mean, I guess that is a game mechanic that you can be more sportsmanlike, but that's not necessarily encouraged by the game rules, it seems like.
So before I get to Jorge, do either of you gentlemen, Ralph or Zafir, want to address what Daphne said? You have any?
Well, I can clarify what I said. Some people have a nemesis in game. I think all people have some sort of nemesis in the game. And it's fair that they hunt each other's guardians. It's a very competitive part. Ralph is right. If you want a black medal, expect to put in at least as much effort as 100,000 hacks or whatever that number is. Or all of those numbers. Don't expect to just put a portal, wait 150 days, hit recharge a couple times, and get a black medal. But I really dislike when it becomes a team effort. A team should have better things to deal with. A team should focus on better things.
Well, and
That's
I
my
also
feeling.
I think all of us on the panel, I would hope, probably agree that hunting guardians, if you find them naturally, either by coming across them or clicking on the intel map, is one thing. Finding them using an automated script or a tool to compile a database is probably just wrong.
Yeah, that's just exactly. It's totally wrong.
Jorge, what are your thoughts?
Well, I agree with Zafir and with Ralph and with Daphne also. The game is to take down the conquerors portals, and if you want to hunt those portals, it's okay, but you have to do it by yourself, taking your time, looking for them in the intel map without using any script or whatever other things there are out there. And but I also think that it's something that really I didn't thought about that in that way also, but now that Zafir mentioned it, it increased the faction rage against each other. And it's always personal when somebody take down your portal. Most of the players look at that in that way, like it's personal. They hunt it in purpose, and well, most of the time, I want to say maybe 50% of the time is that way. It's well, where's that guy specifically? That guy guarded the portal, and because I want to take it down, and well, that's not so good. I really don't find really uh, enjoyable to be guarding a portal for 3, 4, 5 months. I think it's like boring. I think it doesn't make any difference in the game, like improving the game in some way, or it's like a challenge that improve agent skills. So I don't know. I don't have a guardian, so I think for me it could be out of the medals, out of the stats, and I will be really okay with that.
So I have a bit of a different perspective on it. I think the fundamental issue and the reason why it's a problem is because of a bigger issue in that people, because of the amount of time vested in the game that they play, there's a sense of ownership of something that you really don't own. And so people that have a hard time disconnecting the fact that, you know, they put all this time and effort into recharging some virtual property that really doesn't exist, they're the ones that are going to be offended by it. I had somebody who threatened to take down my portal, not just threatened to take it down, but they were going to ping it with level 1 XMPs. And so what? That's the game. I mean, it's his game mechanic. If he wants to do that, I told him if I was nearby, I'd come out, shake his hand, laugh at him, and sit there and watch him, you know, using cubes and everything else to do it. you're provided the ability to do that because you can fire an XMP and you can take down a portal, and you know the date of them because it's provided to you on Intel. So although I don't personally subscribe to it and do it, I can't hold it against a player who's using something that's information and action provided to him by the game. So I think Tzafrir is hit the nail on the head with the sort of caustic nature of the Guardian portal hunting and all that. It's really creating like a toxic environment. But again, I think that's because people have a hard time separating the fact that, you know, and Niantic may not like us, but it is a game. You don't actually own that library. You don't own that fire station.
Yes, that's true.
Rightfully so, though, because of all the time and things you vest into it, you do actually feel like you have ownership of something. You know, I can't relate to anything else where I've put this much amount of time and energy to it and not felt like I've at least have some sort of ownership in it. So I think that's sort of the root cause, the root issue of it. And I don't know that there's a solution that makes everybody happy. And although maybe you don't have to make everybody happy. So any last thoughts on this before we hang up and go around the horn real quick?
I would like to say that what Zafria said, that this shouldn't be a team priority, a team effort. I think that is very important. I think when you're strategically trying to clear all guardians of the enemy faction, that's not something that, you know, will make your team stronger. You will create a lot more hate. And I think if you are hunting for guardians personally, that's okay. You know, like you said, it's in the game. It's there. You can do it. I don't judge what other people do. Personally, I don't have a guardian because I don't feel it's worth recharging for months. But anything is allowed if it's possible in the game. Then I don't think you can judge other people for it. And as much as it sucks if you've been recharging for months, yeah, it sucks. But that's the game, you know. So.
Yeah, I agree. Anybody else? Final last shots and words?
I don't have anything to add, just a side note that I disagree that the pearls aren't real. They're just as real. They are just as real as my bank account.
Nice.
Point.
I will disagree on the team aspect of it, though, because one person can make links and fields. Now, you don't get a badge for making links and fields, but there are definitely aspects of the game that are solo player doable, and so to condemn one versus the other seems just a little bit unfair. Jorge, you seem quiet. Anything else?
I don't know. I agree with Ralph in that particular aspect that if the guardian it's the property of one, well, as one you can hunt it. If you do it like in an operative with a lot of fingers players, well, I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe it's unfair. I think we have to understand that this is a game that is about war, and you have to take it like that, as war in the game, and in your real life that you are playing a game. So you don't have to get rage to anyone, hate anyone. It's a game, and some days you lose, some days you win, and that's it. When you are playing, it's okay to do whatever you do legally, whatever you can do, but when you close the scanner on your cell phone, you have to stop hating the other guys.
You know, and I'll end this on this one last comment, and because we got to go, we definitely ran over, but it's been great conversation. You know, that was one of the things that Ingress taught me. I'm a very competitive type A person, and it taught me to let some things go, and I think I'm better for it, and I enjoy it, and I'm glad I had to learn that lesson and put my my ego in check, and I made peace with some people who were doing things just to piss me off, and I don't really care anymore. So, anyway. We could talk about this all night long, I'm sure. But thank you guys. Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Tzafrir. You guys have been awesome guests. I wish we didn't try to limit it to an hour because we could probably sit here and chat your ear off for easily 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. But then you'd have to wake up and go to work, though, and your neighbor's probably getting mad at you, Ralph. So we'll cut it a little short here and say goodnight. Thank you all of you watching this, tuning in to Behind the Scanner. We'll be back next week, Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. If you know somebody that might be a good guest, again, please let us know by going to bit.ly, that's bit.ly/ETS_guest. We want to get your recommendations. We have we're booked out pretty far through August in some cases, but we always want to get new people in and talk to new people and show them to the community. Get a chance to meet somebody you may not have met. Also, don't forget to check out Kelly Colton's Ingress Happy Hour, Tuesdays at 9 p.m. You can find that information on the Meridian Project or Kelly's personal page. We'll link to that. And also, for those of you that popped in and didn't maybe see the whole conversation, it was really, really good. You can always watch it tomorrow, or actually probably in about an hour or so when it finishes uploading to YouTube. So that's it. Again, thank you guys. Really, really appreciate it. Any last words?
Thanks for having us here.
All right. With that, good night. Happy hacking.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.